Good evening, Mighty Mustangs. A beautiful evening for this, isn't it? Well, we are pretty excited about this. Thank you for bearing the cold. The season's changing on us, and we have a very fixed limit to this presentation because it will be dark in precisely 15 minutes. For those of you who have been here for our parent-teacher conference, our APTT thus far, I hope you didn't sneak too big of a peek because you're supposed to save it for the open house in just a moment. We'd like to take a moment and do a few acknowledgments and just a few words about the process that has been in place to culminate on this evening, the ribbon cutting event for Westlake STEM Junior High School. That needs a hoop and a holler. When you gain access to the building, or when you gain access to the building again, it may look just a little bit different than it did for parent-teacher conferences. As you walk down the hallways, there's some key areas with balloons tied to the doors. Those are areas that were very much intended and targeted in this remodel, and we'd like you to be able to take a peek at those and get a sense of what those are about. You'll also see to my right here the amazing student body officers of Westlake STEM. They will actually be in the hallways while you're walking through the building, and they can tell you the straight story. They can tell you what it's really about. So you see something with balloons and you go in, pull one of those guys aside and say, "What's this room about?" And they know all the answers, right guys? Way to go. We'd like to just take a moment and acknowledge some of the individuals who are here and were instrumental in making this happen. First off, I'd like to recognize the Granite Board of Education. They are in many different locations this evening because they got many responsibilities across the district. But standing behind me is our own board member, Terry Bodden, is somewhere behind me. Right back there, if you can wave. Connie Perkins is right over here on our right. Waving. She wave one more time. We thank them for being here and all of our board members, whatever location they're at this evening. We also have a few of our members of the superintendency here. I know I have Mr. Don Adams behind me somewhere here, to my left. And Mr. John Wilbur right next to him. We thank them for being here and the entire superintendency. I know they're spread out across the district tonight. Also, we want to recognize two very important groups in making this happen. Both our architects and actually our contractors. Our architects was the Naylor Wentworth Lung Architects. They're spread out a little bit. I see Ross Wentworth over here who's going to wave. Yeah. We have Richard here back on the back corner there, and also Jane Collette, so they can wave, and Richard Jeffries. And our wonderful contracting firm worked all summer long and well into the school year getting the last piece put together is our J.L. Hardy, and I'm looking for Heston. Is he behind me too? And his beautiful wife, a big wave. That's all it takes, Heston, right there. Get her done. A big thank you to the Westlake teachers. Can they wave? They've all got a shirt on to be recognized. What a group they are, what they've done since they were appointed to these positions, unpacking the school, getting this ready and getting us started on time. A marvelous job. We feel very, very lucky to have this elect group as the first staff of Westlake STEM. Thank you to that group. We don't have a lot of time before we lose the light. I do want to ask if we could just have a few words, probably just a couple minutes if we could, from a few individuals. The first I'm going to ask for is our Assistant Superintendent, Don Adams. I recognized him a second ago. He is the Assistant Superintendent over our buildings and our architects and this kind of a project. I can't even begin to describe the vision of this individual and what's actually happened with the school behind us. The forethought and what we would want to see in our students' collaboration, in our teachers' collaboration. We'll start with him, and right after that, we're going to ask our board member, Terry Bodden, to take just a quick moment and say a few words. And finally, we'll ask Mayor Ron Bigelow to say just a couple words. We'll go to that point. Assistant Superintendent, Don Adams. Big round of applause.
15 minutes of daylight, 20 minutes of speech. Does that work for everybody? I'm looking back on 2 years of work that brought this about. I'm not sure, but I think with all of the hemming and hawing and yelling and stamping that I did, I might be the biggest advocate for Westlake STEM. I wanted it here. I looked out at the students here and I thought, these guys, they're going to rock it out loud. It's we adults that are going to struggle. These kids, you give them the opportunity, they're going to amaze us. And I think from what I've seen from the first, part of the quarter, they're doing it. Lives are going to change because of everything that this group in front of us is doing. Lives are going to change because of the parents, and lives are going to change because these guys are taking charge and doing what they need to do. Very excited, just so glad that the board gave us the money, the latitude, the creativity to make the changes necessary at this building, this great 1960s building with a little bit of love, I think has turned into a house of love and a school of success. So thank you guys. I hope to do it in another 100 buildings throughout the district. I appreciate it.
Hi, thanks for being here tonight. I'm babysitting, that's why Nixon's with me. My grandson. We are so happy for this community and pleased for what you do as a community, and you're so deserving. So on behalf of the Board of Education, we present this wonderful building to you. We're grateful that you have this opportunity and look forward to many successes for our faculty and staff administration, most importantly for your students and for you. Thank you for being here.
I get to compete with the airplane. For me, it's a very special privilege to be here tonight. Over the years, I've been privileged to participate at the state and local level and to hear many discussions and even participate in discussions about education. And some 15 years ago, a lot of ideas were shared and discussed about where education could go and how we could make a difference. Of course, we were not talking any particular school at that point, but more concepts. And for me now to be here to see one of those ideas come to fruit right here in West Valley and to be a part of our neighborhoods is very special to me because we knew that it would make a difference. These aren't the only ideas, there are many others, and different things are happening in education to make it better. Because the focus that many have had over the years, I'm fortunate enough to still be around, many of those have gone other places, but to be around and to see some of those ideas happen and improvements take place that will benefit students. Students, it takes a long ways for me to remember back, but I was a student once. And 20 years, 30 years from now, they will be doing the things that we're doing. They will be running this country. I think they'll do a lot better job than what's being done now. Of course, there's nowhere but up right now. But that's a personal opinion. But yes, it's very special to be here. This is a great asset to our community, and not just here at Westlake, because it will set a standard. It will set a standard that others will try to measure up to. And it's in the right place at the right time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Bigelow. Well, I'm yet to in my life do this without missing somebody or a couple groups along the way. I want to just take maybe 30 more seconds to acknowledge a few that I did miss. As we just had speak to us, that was our Mayor Ron Bigelow. We also have Representative Craig Hall here this evening. We're thrilled to have those two individuals here for us. We'd like to recognize one of our feeder school principals and also our STEM school feeder principal. That is Mr. Matt Goebel over here. We're going to make him wave. From one of our 5 feeder schools. And a very important group that I'm going to invite up here in just a moment, but the new Westlake STEM Community Council, if they can wave from the various locations they're at, they're all over the area right now. And I did mention them, but I sure want to end on this talking point because of the amazing job they did. But our Naylor Wentworth Lund architects, our J.L. Hardy contractors, they are the reason that this was able to actually happen. The short time frame, the miracle of being able to get all of this put back in place in the amount of time kids were out of school to back in school is nothing short of phenomenal and miraculous. Can we give them one more big round of applause? Now for the moment we've been waiting for. If I could, I know I've mentioned many of these acknowledged people, and I need you to not be shy because I'd have to go through the whole list again to get you up here. If we recognize you, we'd ask that you can come up and help to hold the ribbon. We will actually ask that our student body officers, as representatives of their peers in the first class of Westlake STEM, can actually be the ones to cut the ribbons in just a moment. So we can ask those who we've acknowledged to come on up here, help us hold the ribbon, and student body officers, get ready.
Before it gets too dark, can you be my endpoint? Would that be okay? Way down there.
Hold that in.
Would that be okay?
Get over here.
No, I'm trying to get them all in. There we go.
Wait a second, student body, till we all get positioned. The cameras are rolling. The moment's come. Are they ready? All the student body there, let's give them a countdown. How about in 5, 4,